What we want to do is you are going to maintain retroversion of the pelvis, flat lumbar spine, flat thoracic. Your chin is going to be tucked in. With your legs, you want to go into dorsiflexion of the ankles, inversions, and then medial rotation of the femur by pointing your toes in toward the inside. Then what you want to do is take your hands. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to be your own therapist by demonstrating the top 5 strengthening exercises for posture correction, and more specifically, I'm going to be teaching you how to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine. Before I actually get on with the exercises, I first want to explain what exactly hyperkyphosis is and why exactly you should care. Hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is when you get excessive flexion or curvature in the thoracic spine, and when that happens, you end up getting this hunchback shape. And ideally, you should have anywhere from 20 to 40 degrees of curvature in your thoracic spine. Whenever it goes beyond that range of motion, that is when it's going to be considered dysfunctional, and if you don't address it, it can lead to things like neck pain, mid-back pain, shoulder pain, and a whole host of other issues, so you would want to address it immediately. And one of the ways in which we could address it would be to do some strengthening exercises for the muscles that are responsible for extension of the trunk or extension of the thoracic spine. That's what we're going to be doing today, and without further ado, here are the top 5 strengthening exercises for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine. For all of the strengthening exercises that I'm going to be demonstrating for you today, we're going to be in a prone position, meaning you're going to be laying down on your stomach. Now, the first strengthening exercise for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is going to be for the longissimus, and specifically, we're going to be targeting the cephalic portion of the longissimus, so the part closer to the thoracic spine and the lower cervical spine. For it, again, we're going to be in a prone position, so you're going to lie down on your stomach, and then for this exercise right over here, what we want to do is you are going to maintain retroversion of the pelvis, flat lumbar spine, flat thoracic. Your chin is going to be tucked in. With your legs, you want to go into dorsiflexion of the ankles, inversions, and then medial rotation of the femur by pointing your toes in toward the inside. Then what you want to do is take your hands and you're going to rest it underneath your forehead. And then from here, all we want to do is go into extension of the trunk. And this is the strengthening exercise for the longissimus muscle, specifically the cephalic portion of the longissimus muscle. Then, the second strengthening exercise for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is going to be for the iliocostalis muscle, and specifically, once again, we're going to be targeting the cephalic portion, meaning the part closer to the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. For it, we're in the exact same position, and the only difference is instead of doing trunk extension, we're going to be doing lateral flexion, but everything is exactly the same. We're going to go into extension, and then we're just going to go and do a side bend, and this is the strengthening exercise for the iliocostalis muscle. Next, the third strengthening exercise for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is going to be for the spinalis muscle. For the spinalis, once again, we're going to be targeting the cephalic portion, so the portion closer to the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. And once again, we're in the exact same setup position. We're in this prone position. We have our hands underneath our forehead. And for this one, we are going to be doing extension with a component of rotation. So what we want to do is imagine that you are trying to bring your shoulder toward your opposite hip. You're extending up and then rotating out to the side. And this is the strengthening exercise for the spinalis, specifically the cephalic portion of the spinalis. Next, the fourth strengthening exercise for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is going to be for the middle trapezius. For the middle trapezius, once again, we are in a prone position. You want to go ahead and rest your legs on the floor, dorsiflexion of ankle, inversion of ankle, medial rotation of femurs. Then, retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic. Your chin, for this one right over here, you want to pin your chin down to the ground. The reason we're pinning our chin to the ground is to release tension on the tensor fasciae lati muscle and get maximum recruitment of the middle trapezius muscle. Then from this position, we want to abduct our thighs below the level of the glenohumeral angle. You can basically just put them right out to 90 degrees, and that's going to be the proper position. And then you want some slight bend in the elbow. The reason we're bending the elbow is because we want to release the tension on the elbow flexors. And then from this position right over here, all we're going to do is bring our hands up toward the sky as high as we can. So we are going to retract the scapula. Imagine there's a pencil between your shoulder blades and you're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And this is the strengthening exercise for the middle trapezius. And then last, the fifth and final strengthening exercise for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine is going to be for the inferior trapezius. For the inferior trapezius, exact same setup position. We're on the floor, legs are resting, retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic. Our chin is pinned on the ground. Reason we're doing that is to release tension on the tensor fasciae lati muscle. And then for this one, we want our arms down by our side and our palms are going to be facing the ceiling. So we're going into medial rotation of the shoulders. And then the principle of action, we want to go into retraction and depression of the scapula. So imagine you're trying to bring your hands into your opposite back pockets or bringing your hands, gliding them toward the opposite heel. I'm going to show you what I mean. Your chin is pinned down to the ground, and then we're just going to go into extension of the humerus, adduction of the humerus, and go into depression of the scapula. And this right over here is the strengthening exercise for the inferior trapezius. And those were the top 5 strengthening exercises for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine. And there you have it. Those were the top 5 strengthening exercises for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine. If you do have hyperkyphosis, or if you have issues with regard to neck pain, mid-back pain, or shoulder pain, go ahead and give those exercises a try. And if you have given them a try, go ahead and drop your comments down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought. In terms of the sets and repetitions, what you want to do is 3 sets of 50 repetitions for each of the exercises, and that's 5-0, not 1-5. The reason we're going so high with the repetitions is because we're trying to elicit a postural change. Whenever we're trying to elicit a postural change, one of the most important things is going to be accumulating time under tension. And if we do the typical 8 to 12 bodybuilding repetition rep range, we're not going to be able to accumulate that time under tension. So 3 sets of 50 repetitions for each of the exercises. And then coming up this Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m., I'm going to be taking you through the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for posture correction to correct hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine. And those are going to be a terrific complement to the strengthening exercises that we just did today. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.